It started, as most scandals do, with a single headline that no one was ready for. A hidden past ties Sam Heughan and Caitríona Balfe closer than anyone knew. The story came from the Daily Mirror, published quietly on a Monday morning, but within hours, it was everywhere. Twitter, Reddit, TikTok, YouTube, all ablaze with the same question. What secret were Sam and Caitríona hiding all these years? For nearly a decade, the world had known them as one of television's most iconic duos. Their chemistry on Outlander transcended fiction, sparking endless rumors of romance, friendship, and mystery. But this time, the speculation wasn't about love, it was about blood. The article claimed that an independent genealogical researcher had uncovered archival records linking the Heughan and Balfe families through a shared ancestral line, dating back to the 1800s in Scotland. The revelation suggested that Sam and Caitríona might be distantly related, connected through history, as the story put it. It sounded absurd, impossible, yet somehow believable. Within hours, social media turned into an investigation board. Fans began analyzing old interviews, dissecting past comments, looking for clues that had been hiding in plain sight. One video clip resurfaced from 2018, where Sam had been asked about his Scottish heritage. He'd smiled mysteriously and said, "Funny enough, there's an odd family story that's connected to someone I work with. But that's all I'll say." At the time, no one paid attention. But now, that single sentence was replayed millions of times. He meant Caitríona, fans insisted. He was hinting at this years ago. Reddit threads exploded with amateur genealogists tracing surnames, family crests, and parish records. Some even dug through Irish and Scottish ancestry databases, convinced they had found proof. One user posted a scanned letter from 1894 written by a Margaret Heughan to a Patrick Balfe, describing their joint effort to fund a Highland Relief Fund for famine victims. That clue alone set the internet on fire. By evening, entertainment blogs had picked up the theory. Are Sam and Caitríona secretly family? Screamed one headline. A century-old link discovered between Outlander stars, claimed another. The tone of the conversation shifted from curiosity to chaos. Some fans were fascinated, others felt uncomfortable. "It's creepy," one person wrote on X. "How can two people play lovers for years and not know they're related?" Hollywood gossip shows ran special segments with expert panels, debating whether such a discovery was real or fabricated for publicity. Entertainment Now even flew a reporter to Scotland to interview locals from Sam's hometown. "Everyone's talking about it here," one cafe owner said on camera. "Folk have been digging through old records like it's a national treasure hunt." Meanwhile, neither Sam nor Caitríona said a word. Their silence only deepened the frenzy. But then, another twist emerged, this time, from an unexpected source. A journalist at The Scotsman revealed that a member of Diana Gabaldon's historical research team, the same team that had helped ensure Outlander's historical accuracy, had come forward. This insider claimed to have seen documentation suggesting that Sam and Caitríona's ancestors had indeed crossed paths in the late 19th century, but not through family ties in the traditional sense. "It's complicated," the source said. "What connects them isn't blood, it's legacy." Still, that didn't stop tabloids from pushing their own angle. Photos of Sam and Caitríona together at premieres were suddenly reanalyzed under a new light, headlines reading, "Were they hiding the truth all along?" and "Why the Outlander stars never spoke about their shared past." On TikTok, creators went wild. Some made elaborate family trees. Others theorized that the actors had known for years but kept it quiet to avoid confusing the public. Even celebrities joined in. One late-night host joked, "I guess Jamie and Claire really were destined to find each other, genetically speaking." As the chaos unfolded, a reporter from Variety reached out to both stars' representatives for comment. The reply was short, almost cryptic. Sam and Caitríona are aware of the circulating reports. They will address them when the time is right. That single line only added fuel to the fire. Fan forums began to fracture. Some believed the story was harmless, an intriguing historical coincidence. Others saw it as scandalous. If they knew and didn't say anything, that's deception, wrote one commenter. Fans have a right to know the truth. By the end of the week, the situation had escalated into full-blown chaos. The Outlander fandom, once united in love for Jamie and Claire, was now divided into two camps: those fascinated by the supposed ancestral bond, and those disturbed by it. Articles debated ethics, lineage, and media responsibility. Documentaries were pitched. And then, just when it seemed like the storm couldn't grow any louder, another revelation hit. A second insider, reportedly someone who had worked closely with Diana Gabaldon herself, claimed they had seen the original documents connecting the two families. "It's not what people think," the insider teased. "The connection is real, but it's something far more meaningful than blood." What did that mean? A coincidence? A cover-up? A hidden act of love or sacrifice that had been buried in history? No one knew. But one thing was certain. The world was no longer asking if Sam and Caitríona were connected. They were asking how deep that connection truly ran. And as rumors swirled and journalists prepared their next headlines, one woman quietly boarded a flight to Scotland, Diana Gabaldon herself. Because if anyone could uncover the truth behind this hidden family secret, it was the woman who had written their story from the very beginning. By the time Diana Gabaldon's plane touched down in Glasgow, the media circus was in full swing. Satellite vans lined the streets near the Outlander set. Reporters shouted questions through fences. Headlines screamed, "DNA test coming," "Gabaldon to break her silence," and "Outlander's ancestral scandal deepens." But Diana wasn't there for spectacle. She came for the truth. The author had always been fiercely protective of her creation and the people who brought it to life. For years, she had defended Sam and Caitríona against gossip, dismissing false rumors with grace and humor. But this was different. The chaos had gone too far. That afternoon, she arrived quietly at the studio, her presence commanding without words. Crew members fell silent as she entered. Within an hour, Sam and Caitríona were called into a private conference room. The atmosphere was tense. Caitríona spoke first, her voice calm but weary. "We didn't want this to happen. It's out of control." Sam nodded. "We thought staying quiet would help it die down. Instead, it made everything worse." Diana folded her hands. "Then it's time to stop letting other people tell your story." She laid a folder on the table. "Old documents, letters, photographs. These are the records everyone's been arguing about. I've seen them myself, and I think you both deserve to know what's really inside." The room went silent except for the soft rustle of parchment. On one page was a letter from 1847, written by Margaret Heughan, a Scottish teacher, to Patrick Balfe, an Irish philanthropist. The letter described their work together on a humanitarian fund to aid Scottish and Irish families suffering during the Great Famine. Margaret wrote, "Though we are of different blood, we share the same heart, to give what little we have to those who have even less." Caitríona blinked back tears. Sam read the line again, his hand resting over the faded ink. "So that's it," Diana said softly. "That's the connection. Your ancestors weren't related by blood. They were united by compassion. Two people, one from Scotland, one from Ireland, who came together for something greater than themselves. And somehow, more than a century later, the two of you met and built a story about that very same bond." For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then Sam let out a breath, part relief, part disbelief. "They helped each other through famine," he murmured. "And now, because of them, the world thinks we're cousins." Diana chuckled gently. "Well, history has a sense of humor." Caitríona smiled through tears. "It's beautiful, actually. To think they worked together, that they might have been friends. It makes everything we've done on Outlander feel even more connected." Diana nodded. "Exactly. What people saw as scandal was actually legacy." Later that evening, the three of them sat together drafting a joint statement, not for damage control, but to honor the truth. When it went live the next morning, the internet went silent for the first time in a week. Recent reports have suggested a historical link between our families. After reviewing the records, we've learned that our ancestors once worked together on a 19th-century relief effort to support those affected by famine in Scotland and Ireland. We're deeply moved by this discovery, not because of the headlines, but because it reminds us of what truly connects people: kindness, empathy, and hope. Thank you to those who chose compassion over speculation. Some stories don't divide us. They remind us that we've always been one human family. Within hours, the post went viral. The narrative flipped completely. Fans who had been angry now shared the message with pride. Hashtags like #Outlander Family Legacy, #Kindness in the Blood, and #Proud of Sam and Caitríona trended globally. Even major media outlets changed their tone. BBC Culture called it a stunning twist, a scandal turned into a story of unity. Variety wrote, "What began as chaos has become a masterclass in grace." Diana, smiling quietly from behind the scenes, simply tweeted, "Maybe destiny isn't fiction. Maybe it runs deeper than we think." A week later, Sam and Caitríona appeared together in an exclusive BBC interview. The tension of the past days had melted away. They laughed, reminisced, and reflected on what the experience had taught them. "It's funny," Sam said, "how something meant to tear you down can end up bringing you closer, not just to each other, but to your roots." Caitríona added, "It reminded us that the stories we tell can echo through generations. Maybe we were meant to find this, to remember that love and empathy travel through time, just like Outlander." By the end of the broadcast, fans were in tears. The chaos had transformed into something extraordinary. Not a scandal, but a revelation of connection, history, and grace. In the following months, the production team quietly announced a small documentary titled Legacy: The Real Heughans and Balfes, exploring the historical figures who had unknowingly inspired one of television's greatest partnerships. And in a poetic twist, the documentary closed with the same line from Margaret Heughan's letter: "The words that had once bridged two families, 2 centuries, and now, 2 hearts. Though we are of different blood, we share the same heart." The world finally understood. The chaos was never about scandal. It was about destiny, and the kind of love that even time can't erase.